Lamine Yamal is the best player in the
gasar
world
da cin
right now.
kofin zakarun ko shakka babu ya bayyana cewa Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to another exciting edition of our Sports English segment right here on Kura TV. Yeah, of course, it's been a while that I was here speaking football in English. You know, a lot of things have happened from the last time I talked football in English to now. But today we take a look at some things that actually went down, especially over the last couple of weeks or days. I mean, let me just leave it over the last couple of days, because if I say weeks, it's going to be a very long video. I'm going to sit down here and talk about so many things that have happened. But let's corner ourselves, you know, from last weekend, what happened in the Copa del Rey final, and some league games that happened where Liverpool, you know, completed the, you know, winning the title. Like, they ended everything up. Like, Arsenal have got no hope anymore of anything like winning the Premier League title, because it has been confirmed over last weekend that Liverpool are the Premier League champions. We'll take a look at that a little bit. And then we look at what is happening at Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. So many things are happening at Manchester United. So we'll take a look at a little bit of it. And then we take a look at Chelsea, Manchester City and their problems. Real Madrid have got a lot of problems right now. Yes, we take a look at what we can look at, especially the future of Carlo Ancelotti, whom at the moment, I think he looks more like going to Brazil than staying in Spain right now. Because as we all know, the Brazilian national team is after him, and there have been conversations over the last couple of weeks between him and them. So we get to look at that a little bit. And then Barcelona, to whom at the moment I can see they are on course to play in the Champions League against Inter Milan in the semi-finals. Yeah, we take a look at the club a little bit too and forget about that game, because I know by the time I'll be posting this video, that game will be on. So let's start from the Champions League, of course. Let's talk about Arsenal, because Arsenal played on Tuesday. Yeah, they played against PSG, where a lot of people are saying, you know, PSG traveled all the way from France to come to England and cook rice. They served rice to everyone in England. Like, I mean, in that game, PSG were just the better side, honestly speaking. Like, they deserve that win because they played excellently well. This season, I've been impressed with what PSG have been doing. Quite all right. I'm impressed. Like, I never expected them to play like this, especially considering what happened during the group stages. But when I went through some stats over the course of time, I saw that PSG started the Champions League very well. The only thing they were struggling to do as of the start of the season, the Champions League, and why they finished 14th in the league phase, was because they were struggling to convert their chances. But you know, as always, a good coach will always find a way to make sure that his side starts scoring goals, to make sure that his side defend, to make sure that his side scores goals and win games. I think that is what Luis Enrique did with his PSG national team, and he did with this PSG team, sorry. And they did well, and they made sure that at the end of the day, they actually progressed into the semi-finals of this tournament after beating Aston Villa and Liverpool. I think they have done well. You look at the way they play out from the back. You look at the way their midfielders do play football. I think it's very, very impressive. And then Ousmane Dembele, who has not been known for goal scoring, he has scored 30 plus goals this season for PSG. That is absolutely impressive. I think they have done quite well, and they deserve to be where they are right now. That is in the semi-final, and they deserve that win too against Arsenal, because they capitalized on one mistake that Arsenal did on that Tuesday night, that game they played against them, because they actually understood that Thomas Partey wasn't playing, and whenever he is not playing, there is that hole in midfield, and Thomas Partey wasn't there, but Declan Rice lose his concentration as of that time. He wasn't there when Ousmane Dembele picked that ball at the center of the park, because we all know PSG are very good when it comes to playing out from the back. They did that perfectly. They found Ousmane Dembele, handled the ball very well. He gave it to Kvaratskhelia like also, and then Kvaratskhelia dropped the cutback for Dembele to convert that chance, and PSG were ahead. Arsenal have got no answer up until the end of that game. And right now, all their focus is on that second leg. Like, their hopes, their season, the entire season. If I say the entire season, I'm not being fair to what Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have done in the Premier League. Quite all right. They are second in the league table, of course, but we all expected them to do better, especially with what Liverpool have been doing. But all their hopes this season of winning something is on that second leg against PSG. The Premier League is gone, the FA Cup is gone, the Carabao Cup is gone, because Newcastle United have already won that one. So it's only the Champions League that is left. And for Arsenal fans, just be patient a little bit. Just be patient a little bit. The trophies are going to come, even if it is not right now, but they'll come. Even the biggest and the best of managers do struggle a little bit before they get to win their first titles for their clubs. Pep Guardiola, it took him more than a year to sign players, bring them in, and he has got a lot of resources. Like, he spent close to £1 billion before he won the title in England. So that is it. I think it will take a little bit of time, but with time it will come and pass, and then Arteta will get to win his first trophy. And I expect him next season to even win the Premier League title. Yeah, I expect him to win it because it seems like they are a side that just need a little bit of addition here and there, and then things will click, and they win games, they score goals, and they win trophies, of course. We wait to see what is going to happen in that second leg between them and PSG, but it is going to be a very tough task for them because PSG are also no joke. They are no joke. They will try their best to make sure that they give Arsenal problems, and they make sure that they try to win that game because they want to be in the final, to play one of Inter Milan or Barcelona. I'm talking about Barcelona right now as of this moment. A side that wants to win the quadruple or the treble, let's say the treble for the meantime, because they look on course for that. They have already won the Copa del Rey. Yeah, they are on course to win the Laliga because they are 4 points ahead of Real Madrid, of course, and they are still in the Champions League, in the semi-finals of the Champions League. I don't want to talk about that game because it will be like when this video drops, that game will be on. So there is no point talking about it right now. Let's just leave that for another day. But as of this moment, looking at Barcelona and what they have done, I think massive credit to Hansi Flick, who came in and picked up this side. Quite all right. Xavi Hernandez has done an excellent job with them, bringing up players like Lamine Yamal from the La Masia, you know, the likes of Pau Kobasi, whom he gave a chance to play in this team, and a whole lot of them. But they have done well, quite all right, over the course of years under him. His second season in Spain, he won the La Liga. Last season, that is his last season, his third season, he finished second with 85 points, just 3 points behind the tally they finished the season they won the title. So I think that is impressive. Quite all right, the side has got talent, they have got players. The only thing they were lacking is a manager who would take them to where they are supposed to be. And Hansi Flick came in, he instructed everybody to do the right thing, and the players bought into his idea, and that is why they are where they are today. Just look at how players are scoring goals under him, how the team is firing. Everybody is doing quite well. Whoever Hansi Flick gives a chance in this team, he plays very well. He convinces, and the fans fall in love with the team and everyone. That is what a good manager can do for a team. He can just transform you. Like he has transformed the life of every Barcelona fan in the last couple of months, I can see, at Barcelona. Quite all right, there were struggles in December. Yeah, they've lost a lot of games during that time. They've struggled. But by the turn of the year, that is when Barcelona actually turned everything. They became a different side. They became a better side. And right now, they look like winning those 3 trophies completely this season. They already have won one. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Spanish Super Cup because that one, it was a Community Shield. It is just like the Community Shield. We can say it's a trophy for last season, of course, because it's the one that, you know, in England, they used to play it at the start of the season. So we keep that for last season, and then let's say they have won the Copa del Rey already. They are on course to win the La Liga because they are a couple of wins away from winning it. And in the Champions League, they are in the semi-final. Hansi Flick has transformed everything at Barcelona, and that is why they are where they are today. Credit to him, massive credit to him for carrying this set of young players. Just look at Lamine Yamal, look at Robert Lewandowski, look at Rafinha. Rafinha is even the surprising stuff among all of them, because as of when Lamine Yamal came out, even under Xavi Hernandez, we knew that he had the talent. He can do all of these things that he was doing, but he needed a manager who would take him to where he is right now. And Hansi Flick has done that. Robert Lewandowski has been a seasonal performer all season. Like from the first day we knew him up to now, he has been known for his goal scoring. He has scored over 700 goals. So for him, it's a normal thing that is happening because he has scored 40 this season already, although he's out for a couple of times. But for Rafinha, whom his best season is when he scores only 10 goals and provide a couple of assists, that is the best number that he has ever had in his career. Right now, he has got more than a 50 goal contribution this season for Barcelona. Him alone, he has scored 30 goals. He has got 25 assists. We are talking about 55 goal contributions for Rafinha, him alone. Hansi Flick said from the moment he came in, he saw the player, he knew there was a player in there, and that is why he has taken him to where he is. Look at Frankie de Jong at the center of the park. He was struggling with injuries and everything all over the place. Right now, one of the best midfielders in La Liga. We look at Pedri, whom there was never any doubt on how good he is. And you look at their defense, Pau Kobasi has been an all-timer. Pau Kobasi and Lamine Yamal, if you allow me, I'll argue that those boys have got more than 500 appearances for Barcelona alone, but they have not. Yamal has played only 100 games plus. Kobasi, I even doubt if he has played 100 games as of right now. And then the goalkeeper, in Chesney, who came back from retirement, he was sleeping in Marbella under the sun, relaxing because he has retired. They brought him back, and look at how he is playing for this Barcelona team. I mean, huge and massive credit to Hansi Flick. If they get to win the La Liga at the end of the season and the Champions League and add it up to what they have in Copa del Rey and the Spanish Super Cup, I'll just say congratulations to them. Ancho Komila Mila Zamani. I think it is Barcelona's time. They are on course to win all of these things, and I will not be surprised. And massive credits to Hansi Flick for what he has done with this team. And for Real Madrid, yeah, for Real Madrid, you know, we cannot talk about the Champions League without talking about Real Madrid. Quite alright, they are not in it because Arsenal have knocked them out, but we have to talk about them because it is their tournament, like they used to say. They have won it more than everyone. Real Madrid, as of right now, Carlo Ancelotti is on the verge of leaving Real Madrid, of course. We all know that. He will leave Real Madrid, he will go to Brazil, and he will handle their games as early as June. And Real Madrid will hire an interim coach to come in and handle this team in the Club World Cup. So, like I always say, when I used to put my videos in Hausa, it's not only, you know, Carlo Ancelotti that is the problem of this team. They need new players. We have had reports linking them with Milos Kerkez from AFC Bournemouth, Alvaro Carreras too from Benfica to come in and fill in the left-back positions, because that position, I mean, Real Madrid need to invest hugely on them. Not only that, their entire defense. Rudiger is out for 6 to 8 weeks. I think even Rudiger, when he comes back, he shouldn't be playing consistently for this team. Eder Militao has suffered 2 ACLs in the last couple of months. 2 ACLs, that is too much. They need to bring in players. David Alaba too, at the age of 30 years, suffered an ACL. 30 plus 2 is 32 right now. Carvajal too is out because he has suffered an ACL in like 32 years. So you look at it, the only person you can rely on in their defense is Raul Asensio, whom is just getting into the team too. They need to invest in their defense, bring in players, sign them, and make sure that they try to improve this team. I think that is the only thing I can say about Real Madrid, because even if Ancelotti goes, they bring in Xavi Alonso, he comes in, he needs players. He will need players, because if he is to take this team to the next level, he will need players to come in and help. And then I've got a question about Real Madrid. I've got a question about them. Would they be patient enough? Would they be patient enough for a new manager to come in and establish that modern day style of play that the fans are kind of? Because the complaints at Real Madrid have always been that Carlo Ancelotti is not a modern day manager. His team doesn't play out from the back. His team doesn't keep the ball. Since when Toni Kroos left Real Madrid, his team doesn't build anything. Like, they just go there, no tactics. Only long balls, and inshallah, that is what they used to do. So when the new manager comes in, will he have enough in their stomach to let him do his job? Have patience to let him establish the play style, to let him establish the system, bring players that will help him do that. And they have got stars in their team, in which people have said that the star players are the ones who gives you more problem when you are trying to insert this new system and style in a new club that you go to when you are a manager. So that is my question. Will Real Madrid be patient enough? And will Real Madrid players buy into what the new manager is going to bring into this club? I think time will tell that. But as of what I know about Real Madrid over the course of the years, with time, they'll just fire you. That is the problem. They only want you to win. When you're not winning, they'll just tell you, pack your bags and go. The same thing happened with Julian Lopetegui. Julian Lopetegui went to Real Madrid. He was trying to insert all of these things at the club, bring new things, make sure that he modernized the way the club plays. Even as of 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, as of 2018, when Zidane left Real Madrid. But what happened at the end of the day? Before the turn of the year, Lopetegui was sacked because results weren't going the way Real Madrid wanted. And as of that time, they were only lacking goals. That was when Cristiano Ronaldo left the club. But they don't care. They will tell you that the only thing we care about is just winning. When we are not winning, we'll tell you to pack your bags and go. That is Real Madrid for you, Sha. But we wait to see what is going to happen with what the new manager is going to bring in, with what do you call him? Florentino Perez will ask from whoever is going to come in at Real Madrid. Then let's talk about the Premier League champions. Talking about Liverpool, quite alright, they have done well. They have won the Premier League title. They had the perfect opponent to celebrate winning their title. Talking of Tottenham, where they went there and then Liverpool actually tormented their lives, thrashed them, beat them, battered them and bruised them all over the place by 5-1. I think it was the perfect opening for Liverpool to celebrate winning the Premier League title. Quite alright, as of that game, they only needed 1 point, but they picked up all 3 with 5 goals. Which is a very good omen for your, what do you call him, Ancelotti'S, who actually won his first Premier League title in his first season, following the footsteps of Jose Mourinho, Manuel Pellegrini, Carlo Ancelotti, and Antonio Conte, whom have done that in the Premier League. And he's the first Dutch manager to have won the Premier League in the history of the competition. I think that is massive for Liverpool and for Jurgen, for Arne Slot, quite all right. I don't know what is wrong with me that I always want to say Jurgen Klopp. But it is Hansi Flick, not Hansi Flick. It is Arne Slot who is in charge of Liverpool right now and who is taking them to places. Quite all right, just like he said, they had it easy this season when it comes to winning the Premier League, because Manchester City were not at their best Arsenal were not at their very best because they couldn't compete with them. Yeah, Arsenal and Manchester City couldn't compete with Liverpool when it comes to winning the title. And he knows next season is not going to be this easy. They have to go out, invest, and buy players. Already we have had speculations that Liverpool are ready to give Ancelotti's what he needs this summer to buy players and make sure that he improves the team. Because next season, all these teams are going to come back and they will challenge Liverpool when it comes to winning the Premier League title. So Liverpool, as of this moment, the only thing I'm going to tell you about them is that we wait to see what is going to happen next season. Because the first season is always very easy for managers who have got experiences, because when they come in, just like what Ancelotti's did when he came in, he just twisted and tweaked a little bit of things, and they continued playing the way they were playing with more control. Yeah, he just inserted a little bit of more control with the way Liverpool do play games. That is the only thing he did, and Liverpool went all the way to win the Premier League title this season. So next season, he will try to insert more of his playing style. Quite alright, they have signed, they have actually gave new contracts to Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, but Trent Alexander-Arnold will believe in whom I know Conor Bradley is a very good replacement for him, because I know next season Bradley will get the starting spot in that Liverpool team, but they will need to invest at left back, bring in another left back. I'm not confident going forward with Andy Robertson right now and Costa Simicas. They need somebody to come in young and fresh to help them. And in midfield, that Gavin Beck has played quite well this season, but he will need some help next season too. Yeah, he will need some help because he cannot continue playing like this him alone. He can't. Alexis McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai has been a consistent performer this season. He has worked very, very well. But they will need at least one more player to come in midfield and help them. And in attack, they need a number 9. Whether they let go of Darwin Núñez or not, they will need a number 9 to come in and help. Mo Salah has done very, very well. Yeah, this season he has done quite well. Scored a lot of goals, assisted a lot of them, especially in the Premier League. Even Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, all of them, they have performed really well, especially Cody Gakpo. He has done quite well this season. But they need a number 9. Darwin Núñez, Diego Jota, all of them have not been consistent at all. They need somebody to come in and fill in that role. Alexander Isak will not believe in Newcastle United. Quite alright. Isak will not go because Newcastle United look at the verge of qualifying for the Champions League. He wants to play the Champions League. And once they qualify, his contract has a clause that will be activated. He'll be earning around £300,000 every week. Who will give him that money in Europe right now? Nobody. Maybe Real Madrid if they are willing to take him, but they've got Mbappe and they are, sorted when it comes to that position. So that is what is happening at Newcastle United right now regarding Alexander Isak. And for Liverpool, they will need all of these players like I mentioned. Left back, a midfielder, a striker to come in and help this team going forward. Salah will need help too next season when it comes to putting on these numbers. He is aging, but aging like a fine wine. Let's talk about Manchester United right now. Ruben Amorim came into Manchester United with the hope that he's going to save the season and make sure that Manchester United at least get into the top 4 or maybe win one of these competitions. So they look on course to win the Europa League because they are in the semi-finals, and the first leg of the semi-finals is going to come on Thursday. Whom already I have seen that he has got Amad Diallo back and he has got Matthias de Ligt 2 back to come in and help, because Manchester United, their main problem has been goal scoring all through this season. Not even right now, yeah, their main problem has been goal scoring. Quite alright, Alejandro Garnacho is doing well when it comes to carrying the ball. He knows how to carry the ball. He knows how to get into dangerous positions. But the problem has always been how to convert those chances. How to make them count. And one man that has been doing that before he got injured was Amad Diallo. He has been doing that quite well for Manchester United. He has scored a couple of goals and he has had a couple of assists before he got injured. And having him back at this moment, I think is very, very important and massive for Ruben Amorim, because he wants to win the Europa League. Manchester United's season and their future is on top of this Europa League. They have to beat Athletic Bilbao to save the season. They have to beat either Bodo Glimt or Tottenham to save their season. So having Amad Diallo back in this crucial period, I think will help, because they need players that can come in. They need players that can score goals. They need players that can help this team. Bruno Fernandes has been doing quite well in all of this department that I've mentioned. He scores goals. He provides assists for his teammate. But the issue is, only him cannot do it alone. That is why football, you have to that is why you have a team in football. Only you cannot do everything. You need support from every department on the pitch, defense and midfield and in attack. And Matthias de Ligt 2 is back, just like I said. And that will help Manchester United going forward, of course. That will help them. So having all of these players back will help. But the most important thing is for Amorim to make sure that this team at least secure this Europa League. If not, their budget will be affected. Everything about Manchester United will be affected, and fans will not be happy at all. That is where the problem is. They need that money from the Europa League and to make sure that they have a Champions League budget next season to go out there and sign players that Ruben Amorim need. Quite all right. They are on course to wrap up a deal for Matthias Cunha from Wolves, who I think is going to be, a big catch for Manchester United because you come in and help. They need players like him. They need players like him to come in. So we wait to see what is going to happen at Manchester United too in the next couple of months, what they will do in the summer, what they will do when it comes to signing players and what they can do in the Europa League. Well. I think that will be that on this video, of course, because of some technical problems that I am facing. Let's just wrap it up here. Next time, we start with Chelsea and Manchester City because I think they are the only clubs that I have not talked about. Yeah, I've talked about Manchester United, I've talked about Liverpool, I've talked about Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal too. I've talked about all of them. It's only Chelsea and Manchester City that I couldn't talk about. I'm facing some technical problems, but hopefully I'll get around them before the house of video time comes around and everything will be fixed, inshallah. Thank you for your time. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe as well as like this video. Thank you.